YouTube family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA as always, fam. Anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact, don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, Ash, go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, fam, let's get this episode rolling. So look, this one is because of you guys. I often get asked about the difference between the Athena, the Artemis, and the Apollo. Often you guys are asking me which one I should get, which one would be the most appropriate choice for me if I were only buying one gun. And so I thought it'd be great to get them all out on the table so that we could have a discussion. The Artemis belongs to me, the Apollo belongs to me, and the Athena belongs to Covert. So I want to shout out to Covert. As you can see, I am at the happiest place on earth. To hell with whatever that mouse is doing. This is the spot for me. So let's kind of get into it. So let's start off with the Athena. All right, fam. So first up, the Athena. The Atlas Athena was kind of the mainstay, I would say, of Atlas Gunworks for quite some time. It is a great dual pistol, 4.6-inch barrel, steel frame, steel slide, aluminum grip. You know, all that you would expect from Atlas in terms of the quality of the manufacturing, the consistency of the manufacturing, how smooth it is, how great the trigger is. If you're shooting competition, this is what almost everybody was using in terms of Atlas for limited optics. And so the Athena is a great buy. Now, the only drawback I would say to the Athena, and you know, this is not a drawback if you're shooting limited optics. If you're not a competition shooter, then that discussion goes out the window. But if it were me and I were looking to purchase an Atlas, a kind of do-all Atlas, and I was not shooting competition pistols, the one drawback of the Athena, in my opinion, is that it is a non-ported, non-compensated gun. Now, a lot of times that'll be a big deal in terms of your shooting experience. It just so happens that Atlas's manufacturing is so good, even on their non-ported guns, which the Artemis is not, and we'll get to that one in a minute. Even though they're non-ported guns, it's still very flat shooting, still has that perfect zero, great trigger, very easy to be accurate with this pistol. All right, fam, that leads us to the Atlas Apollo. Now, the Atlas Apollo has almost all of the same features as the Athena. You've got a steel frame, steel slide, aluminum grip. For all intents and purposes, it is the Athena, only it is ported. And so, again, if you're not shooting limited optics, if your goal is just to get the best shooting pistol that you can, and you're looking for kind of the best all-around pistol, the Apollo is a ported Athena, and the ports do make a significant difference in the shooting experience. This gun was introduced about 1.5 years ago. I think at like 2024 SHOT Show is when it first dropped. I've had mine now for over a year, probably have around 2,000 rounds through it, and man, just like you would expect from an Atlas gun, fit and finish, spectacular, manufacturing, machining, all top notch. And I gotta say, fam, I love to shoot this gun. I've said many times, if you can only have one, Atlas. If you're trying to choose between an Artemis, which is my favorite shooting Atlas, but in terms of if I could only have one and I wanted something that I could do everything with, I wanted something I can do home defense with, kind of duty-oriented stuff, tactical stuff, and competition shooting, the Apollo would probably be the one that I would choose. As great as the Athena is, as great as it feels, the porting really does make a tangible difference in your shooting experience. So if somebody were to ask me Atlas Athena or Atlas Apollo, I would say if you are shooting limited optics, then I would choose the Atlas Athena. If you're not shooting competition, then I would say the Atlas Apollo. Because it's ported and you do shoot competition, this would put you in open class, and don't get me wrong, this gun could run in an open division without a doubt. But if I'm shooting open, I would probably choose something like the Artemis over the Apollo. All right, fam, last but certainly not least, we have the Atlas Gunworks Artemis. This, to me, is the gift that keeps on giving. I've said this a lot of times over the history of my channel when talking about this pistol. This gun was not on my radar. I just happened to be at Covert one day and they happened to have this gun in stock. My guys at Covert said, you know, Alan, this is really something you should consider. And, you know, I kind of wavered, went back and forth, and I said, okay. And it turns out this is my go-to. My Atlas Artemis is my limited optics gun. It is, again, steel frame, steel slide, aluminum grip, all the workings. But the difference between this is it's not ported like the Athena. The Apollo is ported, but the Artemis has that sight block on it. And I'll let you guys see that a little bit better there. It has that sight block on it, and it adds a little bit more weight to the front end. It allows you to keep very target centric when you're shooting. Now, for a gun that is not ported and doesn't have a steel grip on it, this gun shoots incredible. At this point, I've probably got maybe about 3,000, 4,000, somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 rounds through this gun. It runs phenomenally. I've cleaned it a couple times and try to keep it up, but this is my go-to. I shoot this pistol. Of all the pistols in my collection, this is the one that I shoot the most. And the fact that it shoots this fast, this flat, and it's not ported, it's almost a cheat code. I love, love, love the Atlas Artemis. Now, if you were asking me Artemis or Apollo, again, I would say, what is it? What's your goal? If you're looking for the ultimate limited optics pistol, I would probably choose the Artemis. If you are looking for kind of the best, kind of all around do-it-all pistol, you're not going to be competing, then I would likely choose the Apollo. All right, fam, so in summary, if you're looking for limited optics, you would be looking at either the Athena or the Artemis. In my opinion, the Artemis is a significant step up from the Athena. So the Artemis is retailing at right around $8,000 and the Athena is retailing right around $6,000. So, you know, there's a $2,000 gap in that price essentially. So if you're looking for a more affordable, if you want to call a $6,000 gun more affordable, if you're looking for a more affordable option, the play, and you're shooting limited optics, the play would be the Athena. If you're looking for, you know, the best possible limited optics pistol you can pick up, I would get the Artemis. And lastly, if you're looking for kind of like the best all-around gun you could possibly buy, particularly in the Atlas lineup, I would look at the Apollo. I think the Apollo is trading somewhere around $6,300 to $6,500. I'll put up the MSRP for all these guns up there so you guys can check it out. But the Apollo would then be the one that I would get. All right? That's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.